This is Anthony, and I'm going to talk about how to become a freelance photographer. The first thing that you want to remember about becoming a freelance photographer is, can I go on assignment at a moment's notice? Because when you're freelancing, it's kind of, your day revolves around your schedule and who you're working for, but it could all change in a heartbeat. And I know firsthand how that goes. That's one of the things that you really need to remember is, am I flexible and am I willing to do what I have to do to get the assignment and get the job done? Number two is how to become a freelance photographer. How do you break into it? Most freelance photographers approach newspapers, organizations that need photographers, that need spot photography. A great place to look for these types of situations would be newspapers, a lot of state capitals, a lot of school districts, a lot of sports. They might just need someone right away, and then you could step in. Another important factor in having this piece of equipment is essential to becoming a freelance photographer. You need a cell phone. I used to have at least 2 cell phones and a pager when I first started, because if you're really getting successful, people are going to be calling you. If you don't pick up that phone or answer that text, they're going to call the next person. It's sort of irritating at times, but if you have that type of personality that knows how to return a phone call quickly to an editor, to anybody offering you an assignment, then you'll do pretty well. Number 2 is you're going to want to get a portfolio together, because nobody is going to hire you sight unseen. They're going to want to see some work, whether it's a portfolio. Even nowadays, I feel a blog will do. Just something so they see who you are, what you've done, and what you can do. And then from there, you start to build up a reputation for what kind of work you can do, how fast you can do it, and what type of style you like. I always tell my students, as it was told me, develop a niche, develop something that you're really good at, whether it be political, sports. It could be really just about anything. One of my colleagues used to do conventions. He was just a great convention photographer, and he lived in Chicago where there were lots of conventions. So he kind of had a market on the convention angle where they would call him up and he would go. Freelancing in general is not anything that you can depend upon. And that is something that, as I got a little more mature, I found to be not a very good aspect of being a freelance photographer. But if you can build up your client base, where you have someone calling you once, twice, 3 times a week, you have that confidence that you're going to be able to make that money. So that's always something I try to warn people about when you're working as a freelance photographer. And that's essentially how you become a freelance photographer.